how much money have you spent on fuel? Well, let me give you a little estimate from a friend of mine whose power has been out for about 5 weeks of this year. So throughout the month of February, no power, I think, until about 2 days ago. And then I think the first or second week of January. So just about 6 weeks, no power. He has had to use his generator every day. Now, rough estimate, right? Give or take, he spends, he uses his gen every day about between 6 to 10 hours a day. Okay. And so that means he spends just roughly 10 liters of fuel, 10 to 12 liters of fuel. Now, at the rate of about 600 naira per liter, he was roughly spending just under or just about 8,000 naira. In fact, let's peg it at 8,000 naira a day. Now, you do the math. If you spend 8,000 naira a day on something, if you multiply that by 10, you get 80,000 naira. Just comes like that. Just by 10 days, you get 80,000 naira. Then if you multiply that by a month, 30 days, right? That's just about 240,000 naira. That was what was spent by this young man, this friend of mine, and his family for the past 6 weeks. But the question is not that, oh, the fuel is expensive. No, this is where the problem is. You see, the generator comes on at night when everybody is back home. He, his wife, and their children are back home. During the day, everybody is at either work or school. They are come back sometime between 6 and 7 p.m. And so between that time till about 12 or 1 o'clock, the generator has to be on because there's a fridge, there's a freezer. People need to iron their clothes in preparation for the next day. But this friend of mine feels upset that this my generator is probably making noise. It's probably disturbing people who are sleeping. And so he makes it a point of duty to turn off his generator by 12:30 at the latest. But there is a neighbor just about 2 buildings away who has this generator all through the night. People joked, Oga, share us where they carry money now. I think they buy fuel. They burn fuel all through the night. That's 8 hours. But it's not the only one. There are businesses that have to have their petrol generators or their diesel generators on for the better part of 12 hours a day. So there's noise pollution in those areas. But it's also the business of making money. So my question to you this morning is this. Should there be a restriction on the use of generating sets in residential areas? Some people have banged doors telling other neighbors, Oga, off your gen. 12 midnight don't reach. It used to be the case when we were in school in Uniport. There were areas in Alu where they would tell you that there's a standing order that by 11 o'clock, all generators must go off for security reasons. So that when bad boys come to operate, everybody will hear. That's what they said back then. Now, as I sit down talking to you, I don't think that even makes sense. But hey, how can you or anybody justifiably tell a hard-working Nigerian who legitimately gets his money to turn off his generator at 11 or 12 or even 1 a.m.? He has met his needs. Unfortunately, the power grid has been down several times, I might add. So, on this Pokey Talk station this morning, as some people are angry that the noise from your generator is not giving them a restful night's sleep, don't forget we had a heat wave in late January into February and into just about a week ago. Because of these, people were upset. Generator sounds, heat, people couldn't sleep, people couldn't get into their husbands, couldn't get into their wives. Should they have turned off their generator? The few, some of you who are listening, who were able to run your generators through the night, did you consider that your noise, or rather the noise from your generator, was adversely affecting your neighbor?
The views and opinions shared on this program do not represent the position of Nigeria Info FM. Nigeria Info, let's talk.
As always, always, turn down the volume of your radio set, not your generator, please. All right, and refrain from making derogatory or defamatory comments. Keep your comments civil. All right, 017-923-0002, 017-923-0007 at Nigeria Info PH, at Nigeria Info PH is where you will find us on Facebook and on X at Nigeria Info PH, at Nigeria Info PH is where you find us on Facebook and on X. WhatsApp is 0809-030-6416. Oh, there. That was a drop-off scenario. All right. Once again, WhatsApp 0809 030 6416. 0809 030 6416. That's where you find us on WhatsApp and on Telegram. First message here says, Jude, good morning. Who exactly has the right to tell any Nigerian what to do with their money in their houses? We pay for power, we pay for water, and we also pay for security. If I decide I want to put on my tap 247, whose business is it? I paid for it. I dug the borehole. The government didn't do anything for me. The same thing with my generator. If I can afford it, I will put my gen on 247. The noise is not my problem. The government has failed me, and so I have to take care of myself. Ezekiel. So who has the right to tell me to turn on my gen? But Ezekiel, let me ask you, have you ever heard of something called consideration by chance? You know, yes, you have the generator, but what about the neighbor who doesn't have? And your generator is just a defense, making a lot of noise. How many of you have ever had that scenario where the gen goes off when the power comes back and everybody just goes, thank God. Maybe we hear words more. How many of you? Not pitting anybody against anybody this morning, but it's a valid question. Money and noise, the generating problem. When we come back, I get to hear from you. My name is Jude. talk about offices, businesses, and all the other things that have to do with finances. And this one, it's about noise. But let me move away from your residential area and get to your business places, to your markets. If you have visited some of the electrical shops or some of these places in and around Port Harcourt where mobile devices are fixed or sold, you will hear a great deal of noise. Well, the noise is coming from the generators. Now, if you get to those shops where they have, very expensive phones, they have floor plans, and they have like maybe 10 or 8 people working there, you'll find maybe a medium-sized diesel generator right in front or maybe behind, and it is chugging out a lot of smoke. While you are coming in, enjoying the air conditioning, and you're pricing your mobile devices for 100,000, 200,000, or those of you that have real big money, 1.1 million naira. All well and good. But you see, whilst that man or woman has his or her generator on for the business, all right, the neighbor beside that person is choking. Is choking and is covering their ears because the noise is terrible. And then even in the smaller markets where telephones are not even being fixed, where they make hair, for example, if you get to some of those markets where you have a lot of congregation of, small shops, lying side by side, when one person turns on their generator, everybody in that small market gets to hear the generator. And so voices are raised. But it's not the man or the woman's fault. Now, the International Renewable Energy Agency, IRENA, which is located in Dubai, by the way, says Nigeria is the highest premium motor spirit and diesel generator importer in Africa. Interestingly, that America also imports generator sets more than Nigerians. It's weird. But for Middle East and Africa, Nigeria is the highest. Why? Well, poor power grid, vandalism, all those kind of things, But this is the part that should be interesting to you. You see, 86% of companies in Nigeria own or share a generator. A little wonder why there is noise everywhere. But should they stop the noise? Should they turn off that generator sets? Because of the pollution, which obviously is adversely affecting both the flora and the fauna in that area. If you haven't noticed, wherever you have generating sets, you get to see that a lot of birds don't like to be around those areas. It's not comfortable for them. They don't like it. What does Jude know?
The views and opinions shared on this program do not represent the position of Nigeria Info FM. Nigeria Info, let's talk.
Port Harcourt with Jude on 92.3 Nigeria Info.
So my question is this: should there be restrictions on the use of generating sets in residential areas? Some places when I was in school would say 11 o'clock, turn off your generator sets. Well, I don't know if that's still obtainable today in 2024, but it's beginning to cause some bit of a trouble in some areas. Like I said earlier on, my friend spent over 200,000 naira in the first 5 weeks of this year to fuel his generator. Zion is in GRA. Zion, good morning to you. Welcome to Hello Port Harcourt.
Yeah, good morning to you. You can't force anybody to off their generators. It's their money.
But their noise is also disturbing me. What happened to my rights as a human being? My right to a good night rest.
Your right to human being stops from where the other person starts. To save yourself from that, look for a better environment. You stated something, that such environment where there is generating noise, you don't see birds there. And I want to tell you that you spoke the truth. I don't know if you read the book they call The Silence of Night. Environments where there are noise like that, they don't prosper. They get money, now poor people, they stay in that environment. They don't know that what they are doing, they are chasing the properties the night has is all about. It just to go and sleep. No, it's beyond that. Sir, even butterflies are not found in that environment. In that environment, you don't see the beauty of the night. That is why those silent, quiet estates, their money is very expensive because they have isolated you from that noise.
But those silent estates, they have one big soundproof generator somewhere.
And the noise is not that expensive. They call them soundproof. Is it not so? And God has helped some estates now. They now have renewable energies around. And in some areas, they have what they call federal line, which means they enjoy power up to 16, 17 hours a day. And it's a must that in the night, that time they needed the silence of the night to bring the blessings. No generator will be on. The federal line is already on. My brother, let me be honest to you. Most of us live in ignorance. And our ignorance is costing us so much. For security reasons, all the gen even before 12 o'clock.
But why? But Zion, you just said that you cannot force anybody to turn off their generator. Why? What security reason would anybody need to have the generator turned off? Why?
So that those from that street, those from that environment, beyond the security of gun and kidnapping, security in other environments, like they want to meditate, they want to pray, they want to contact the other realm where they belong to, where they connect energy from. They want to get business ideas. They want to get inspiration how to write songs, inspiration to compose. See, people don't know the power of the night. So allow them to make their noise. My brother, just pray, may God help you, make you come out from that kind of environment so that your prosperity will be pure. Blessings will come your way. Do you know that even in those noisy areas, sometimes you have the network problems? So
for you, there should be restrictions of generating use in residential areas.
Even the law talk about noise pollution. Is it not so? Do they adhere to that? But for me, if you are not comfortable with that, you can invoke the constitution of the law now. You can just sue the person to court. It's a dog for that. Suing to court is making noise with his generator.
With his generator.
And of course, you pay remedies for that, and you learn lesson to off the generator on time.
All right. Thank you very much. Zion says, well, there might be a place for restriction. Levinus says in Eche, Levinus is sending this message on WhatsApp from Eche. Says that you do know that there is not only the noise from the generator that is worrisome. Some neighbors have joy in raising the volumes of their sound system so high, blaring the ears of their neighbors. Again, the smoke from the generator, which is hydrocarbon fumes, and fills the neighborhood, thereby exposing people to inhaling it. And this is potentially risky, as such people could be exposed to cancer and respiratory problems. Please, every generator should be turned off by midnight. There should be a conduit pipe to channel the smoke upwards to the sky, and the volume of sound systems should be low. Interesting. Once again, my first message said, who is going to tell him to turn off the generator when he has worked hard? There's no public power. He provides his water. Why shouldn't he turn on his gen when he wants to sleep? Put on the air conditioner, for example. Put on the ceiling fan or the standing fan. 90.3, good morning. Hello, Port Harcourt.
Good morning, my good brother. How you doing?
Very well. Welcome, please.
My name is Charles Woodland. I'm calling from Port Harcourt.
It's a pleasure to have you join us.
I want to thank the very first caller. Everything about the submission was spot on. My brother, please, if you don't mind, I would love to be that gentleman. I learned so much from what he said. There was so much wisdom in the submission. Now, I want to tell you something here. You see, there is no chance in this country for anybody to turn off his generator, most especially at night. Why is it so? You spend the entire day working so hard. You get back home. What do you mean? Almighty Nepa says, welcome to you with darkness. How do you expect to feel How do you want to sleep at night? Most especially when we live in an environment where so many buildings are around you and where you have air to breathe. So the only option you have is to use a generator to power your fans, to power your ACs, and you're able to sleep at least like a human being for some hours. Now, the places where you talk about, the business spaces where they use generators and all that, how do you want to stop it? For us to stop using generators at night and disturbing our neighbors, the authorities concerned have to do the right thing. They could provide that electricity for us that we enjoy for 24 hours, and that will be the day we will stop importing generators in this part of the world. You mentioned the U.S. being a large importer of generators.
Yeah, interestingly.
They don't use it in their homes. They use it right in the countryside where it is needed. Not in the city. It's not. They don't. That's not where they use them. So for me, it's all about the authorities doing the right thing. Look at it now. I couldn't sleep well last night because the heat was unbearable.
Oh dear.
And I have my generator, but I wouldn't want to disturb my neighbor.
So you chose you chose not to disturb your neighbor and suffer the heat challenge at night.
But do I have a choice?
But Charles, what if you have a baby? What if you have a baby? Would you do that? Would you make that sacrifice?
You see, well, I passed that age. My kids are grown, so
you are lucky.
I have to be considerate of my neighbor's comfort at night. I mean, what if that person is not feeling fine? What if you have a baby? The noise alone will disturb you, and how do you want to recover from your illness? And how do you expect that little child to sleep well at night? He said the whole thing is just about the authorities doing the right thing, and we're going to stop this whole thing. We are blessed with more than enough in this country that can serve us to generate electricity for ourselves in different ways. Are you aware that you could use your waste to generate electricity as well?
Yes, biogas and stuff like that.
Yes. Go to Sweden and see what they use to power electricity in that country. You will be amazed, my brother. You will be amazed. And until we get it right, this environmental pollution, this noise pollution will continue.
Oh,
I know how much I spend on a daily basis to power generator in my office.
Give me a range. Give me a ballpark figure.
My brother, you just don't want to know. It's something I just don't want to mention because when I think about it, then that means I'll be knocking on the door of BP.
Oh dear.
I just ignore it because it doesn't make sense.
That bad, huh?
It doesn't make sense.
Okay. All right, Charles.
And I just say, the box stops at the doorstep of the authorities concerned. Do the right thing. We'll stop the importation of generating sets, and we're going to enjoy 24-hour uninterrupted power supply. Hungary, what's the population of Hungary? Every 10 million thereabouts. What Hungary generates in terms of electricity is many times more than what Nigeria has been able to generate between 1960. So the stats are there for you to find out.
Well, thank you very much. Okay, like I said, it's not an easy thing to bring down to yes or no, right and wrong. Like he may mention, what if you have a child? And interestingly, there are some of you who are new parents. You have babies. In fact, a friend of mine, when he had his daughter, all right, they came to Nigeria to see the grandparents. Oh, I don't born. Oh, okay. So about 6 years ago, and then as they all landed the house, the power went out, and so the child was hot, was restless, was crying. They bathed. Eventually, the grandparents had to acquiesce. You know what? Look, our grandchild is here. Her first night in this country is not going to be one of misery. Turn on the generator, and so they put on the generator. The noise was loud because it was a big generator. Yes, the AC was on, the baby was able to sleep. But for the 5 or 6 hours that gen was on, from about 11 p.m. till about 4 a.m. or 5 a.m. in the morning, I could tell that the neighbors around were obviously not pleased. But what choice did they have? They didn't have power. They didn't have the money to put on their own generator. They didn't even know that there was a new baby in the house. That's why the generator set was on. They didn't know. Messages 0809-030-6416. That's WhatsApp. Let's get to Facebook and X at Nigeria Info PH at Nigeria Info PH. Owuze God's Power says, do you have steady power supply? You are complaining about generator noise. Was it your neighbor that made the power supply not to be constant in Nigeria for more than 60 years of Nigeria's existence? I beg, allow those who can afford generators and fuel to breathe. Interesting. Allow them to breathe. This one says, Jude, some people feel a woman is being inconsiderate if she does not hide the fact that she is married to a good man because their own is maltreating them. Some feel a person celebrating the birth of their child is automatically being inconsiderate to the one that had a miscarriage or the one that has been termed barren. Sometimes our doing a thing is not about peppering a neighbor. If my child can't sleep due to heat, best believe I'm turning on the generator. I am not letting my child cry through the night because someone is upset that their government failed them. 90.3, good morning. Hello, Port Harcourt. Welcome to the conversation.
Hello, Jude. Good morning.
Good morning to you.
My name is Robin Maja, the farmer.
Welcome, Robin. Go on, please.
Noise pollution in this part of the world, Nigeria, is crime. But like some of the callers have said, and some of the message you read, you can't come to my compound and ask me to off my gen. Nobody has such powers.
Well, they do, but Robin, they do, because if you are, and there is a law on noise pollution, by the way. If you are contravening that law, certain decibels, if the person can accurately measure it, the person can actually make a formal complaint to the police and ask you to please turn down that generating set or turn it off.
That's what science said. If you are aggrieved, your neighbor is violating the law. You don't have to go there to ask him to turn off the generator. It's the court. And it does not mean if you bring in police or you go to court that I am committing noise pollution. It's not automatic that it won't matter. My word against your word. Because do I have a right, as enshrined in Nigerian Constitution, in Section 34A, I have a right to live a dignified life. A dignified life includes when the government has failed to provide what they need, and I provide it for myself, I have the right to enjoy it. And in that same section 34, sub B, it says nobody has the right to subjugate me. And it says so. Not everybody in life or in this world will have the capacity to live in an isolated area.
True.
That will build a home for themselves.
True.
Or rent expensive estate. It has never happened, and it will not happen till the world come to an end. So the area that people cluster have a small generator or generators are big. You don't stop anybody from owning his or her generator to enjoy the comfort of his or her home. But I think Zion mentioned it on the area of security. It's not advisable to have the generator run all through the night because you are at risk. Even you have security guards at the gate, criminals can scale to that side of the wall or break the wall without them hearing the sound. Because no matter how proof you call it, because most of the generators in those compounds, security houses are built either on top of the soundproof director house or near there. So it will impair on the noise or the hearing of the security. So for me, I speak for myself and how I operate. No matter how the heat, how we are battling, I do not always allow my gen to be on longer than 12 midnight. So that I will serve the serenity of the night. Even if I'm sleeping, any slightest noise, I will be attracted to it. to go out and check. But however, the government of the day, all these things we are talking, me, I've been saying it, the government, those who are responsible to control this country, they are our problem. If the government comes in and tells us we are going to focus on refinery and electricity, it's okay. Not this sharing of money. Sharing money, that's what we hear. National Grid is funding every day. Nobody is sacked. Nobody is culpable. Jude, I want to advise you, and I also with the time voice. Even if you go around, you will see that those who even have big generator, soundproof, they are converting theirs to solar. That is the answer. It's noiseless. You enjoy it. Even if you wake up in the night, 4 a.m., I go to my TV, I watch my TV, listen to news, wherever, without anybody knowing. Even those who are sleeping in the room, they don't even know. I am monitoring news. Solar is the way to go. We throw away the generators and we leave this people called the power holding company of we leave it for them.
All right, good morning, Robin. Okay, we need to have a conversation about that switch because it's not particularly expensive. It's not particularly cheap. It isn't. I hear these days a good unit that would maybe power your fridge, your freezer, or maybe one air conditioner, or if you're trying to be conservative, at least maybe your fridge and not the light bulbs. It's going to cost you close to 850,000 naira. How many people actually have that disposable income? But anyway. So in my street, for security, we make sure that no one will use that generator on or before 12 midnight. Here it is a standing law. Okay, our country has what it takes to give us power 247, like what is happening in Aba presently. Interesting. All right, now good morning. Our neighbors whom God has blessed in this hard economy and the high cost of fuel to power their generator to be blamed, or the electricity distribution company, that one no be Babele be that. Lady V is asking. No be Babele. 92.3, good morning. Welcome.
Good morning.
Good morning, please. Welcome.
This is Muriel from Accra.
Welcome, Muriel.
Yeah, Jude. I think that we know that the Swedish government, for your money, but you try to be considered, honestly. And you know that this generator that comes away poses a health challenge for you. Sometimes when they put on this, they turn the mouth, the state.
The exhaust, yeah.
That the street come into their own doors, It poses health challenge for others. We consider them. The noise, which is a situation, the stress, so petty. Every year, everything is jam-packed. People say that it's jam-packed. You want them to have a peaceful night. Even you can afford generators for 24 hours. Try to consider all that. I say even for your own safety. In Nigeria where there's blackout, you are the only one that the generator is
on.
People are coming to that area. Do you know that the first point of all, they will attack you first.
Yeah, but see, let me ask you this question, Muriel. You see that notion, right? So let's agree that your house only has power and they want to come and attack. But because you have light, right? Your security lights are on. You may be able to see them. You may be able to see them.
Sometimes they may not even coming when your lights are on, but they will mark you. They start monitoring you. This can be boy. The people there for 24 hours. The whole area is a big boy, So they can monitor you. At the end of the day, they might even kidnap you. They might not even come to rob you when your lights are on, but they will mark you. So you try to step down. Sometimes humility, and no matter what you get, you have this humble nature. You don't even need anybody to tell you. It's not even for the fear of your safety. If you have conscience, you just be considered naturally. And then make up that food.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you. Whenever I hear conversations going on and I'm part of it, I'm looking for the in-betweens, the things that are not said, the things that I've said, but they probably have, a more than one meaning, and I've gotten a few things from here. I really have. It may not be content for Nigeria, for Hello Port Harcourt, but I'm going to make a suggestion to a few of my colleagues. But that's what we always do. We always do that. So, should there be restrictions on the use of generating sets with all of the challenges that people face? Should you get to turn it down just because your neighbor doesn't have? Final caller, 92.3, good morning, please.
Good morning, dude. My name is Chima.
Welcome, Chima. I have a minute for you, please.
Okay. You see, I've been on the receiving end of it, where a neighbor's generator used to keep me awake and couldn't sleep. So now that I have afforded the generator, there's this consciousness in me that I would not want to deprive another man. It's just humanity at play. It's not that I cannot run my generator if I have the money to run it. It's nobody's business. But I have to consider the man that does not have a generator. While I'm enjoying with my AC and my fire, another man is awake because of that. So let's consider humanity, and the world will be a better place. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you. Well, the conversations continue at Nigeria Info PH, at Nigeria Info PH. That's where you find us on Facebook and on X. That's where, we get to have you follow, and then you can be a part of the conversations. All right, I want to read your thoughts. In fact, I think I probably will engage some of you on this matter. Well, we'll take a breather. When we come back, power update this Thursday morning, the last day in the month of February.